One thing about power finesse fishing that's changed everything to me is I learned the hardest lesson by not letting it sit. So let's just put ourselves on Chesapeake Bay. There's a line of poles, and there's 4 Elite Series anglers coming down these poles spread out. The first 3 anglers pitch to the outside poles, whop, whop, whop. Next pole. That's what we do all day long. We got to look good on TV. Good God, my mama's watching. Get it on in there. Note to self, kids, never pitch like this with khaki slacks on, okay? Because watch what happens. When you reel that bait in with a jig, you see where it was at? It's crotch high. It throws water here. Water spots on khaki slacks is hard to explain to your mama when you set the hook and turn around. It looks just like you peed all over yourself. Okay? That's the God's honest truth. So this, you'll notice mine stays off to one side when I do that. So you got all these guys that hit that next post, bounce it a couple times, go to the next one. Here comes OG. I'm gonna pitch mine over and watch this. Now we got us a game. He done seen 2 go in and out. Why this one's sitting here? You know how many fish I started catching when I just learned to sit there for a minute? Now it's tough on me. I mean, you'll see me do this hat thing 20 times when I'm doing that, but I learned that that bait appears to be natural now. It's sank down, it's sit. So that bass is like, hang on now, this thing ain't moving. So 2 in front of you went in, hop, hop, reel it in. Here's one, hop, hop, let it sit for a second. With the jig, this is lights out. And then when you pick your line up on the jig, I know we're throwing a worm right now, when you pick your line up on the jig, most important thing you can ever do, if it's heavy, jerk. I don't care if it is hung. They're $2.99. Break everything in the boat. Break it off. When you pick up a jig, if there's anything different on it, come from the bottom of your toenails. Because so many times they'll just get it. I can't tell you how many times I pulled on that jig and you feel your line jumping and the guy jerked, whack! He said, oh, well, must not have got it. No, he was leaving it. He had it. A jig's it's very particular about just getting hung. Jerk on it. Drop shot, not that important. But if you pick that drop shot up and you feel it hung, like it stopped, just hold pressure on it. Just tighten your line up and just hold pressure on it. Make him move with it. That worm's a lot different. It feels a lot more natural. You put a big chunk and a 5/0 hook and all that in that fish's mouth, I don't care how much garlic you got on there, he knows this ain't a crawfish. Tastes good for a second, but I can't hold it long. That worm, he'll swim around with it forever. Kyle will tell you in practice, they won't spit it out. They'll swim 7 docks over, break off every rod you got. Now in a tournament, they'll tune up a little bit. You don't need to swim out that far. So when you feel weight on it, just hold pressure on it. Just hold pressure on it. With this type setup, with a 2 or 3/0 hook, you don't have to slack line them. I'm going to because I just can't learn any better, but I'm gonna jerk. But I'm telling you, you ain't got to jerk super hard. The hook is skin hooked on the back of that worm. You can literally just reel down and start pulling into them hard and probably catch every one of them. The hook's super smart, super sharp. Mag Finesse, I just can't help it. I have one hook set style and I can't get away from it. It's cost me a lot of money, but it's won me a lot of money. I've broke off more than a bunch of broke widows, but I sure have jerked some 6-pounders end over end, hit them in the carpet. So I say it's a 50-50. You win some, you lose some. You can't get to dance unless you ask somebody to dance. So I have guys that say, slacklining is not as effective. I said, well, let's do one test. Just take a balloon. I'll take a balloon, take a needle, and I'll slow push on that balloon. Slow push, slow push, slow push. You ever notice how far that needle start pushing that balloon in before it pops? Now take that needle and I hit that balloon, it'll pop like that. That's why I slackline. That sudden pop, that sudden whack will drive a much bigger hook deeper than a slow pull. A lot of times when you're fishing, flipping, and pitching like this, when you first hit the hook, if they run out here and jump, it's sky high and come off, you never hooked them to start with. Hook never made penetration. That's all it is. When a large bass commits to biting it, it takes some force. It takes some force. I think even from minnow fishing, we've learned that the hardest ones to land are the giants because when we make a long cast, it's hard to drive it in there. That's why you see guys like Kyle and them so good at it. They got super small hooks, super small barbs. They're trying to get it in that fish's mouth. It's a lot tougher. So flipping and pitching, remember that. It's a lot tougher.